PlayStation has basically completely destroyed their reputation over the last, I feel like, couple weeks at this point, but the last two updates they did, it basically just torched whatever credibility they had. We're going to be talking about those two specific updates and the potential ramifications over the course of the coming, maybe even potentially years or decades at this point, but definitely the most immediate factor. My name is the Technojelly. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate it if you do. I do these videos on Mondays and on Fridays, one news video and one just video I feel like doing, so please subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you guys would like to hear about next. First thing we are going to talk about is the fact that they announced that physical disc production is going to be ending in 2028. Now, the biggest problem with this is the fact that honestly, I just don't trust PlayStation or Sony to just like keep a digital server up forever. So it kind of feels weird that they would just end physical disc production, because let's be real here, the reason they've increased the prices isn't because of the production costs. It's because they just want more money and they want more shareholder value and all that corporate greed type of stuff. So like their thought process of, oh, you know, like it'll be cheaper, like the price isn't going to go down. We all know that. So the fact that they're getting rid of physical media is kind of a bummer, because there's a lot of things that physical media still does that has really good value in a lot of ways. One, having to download every single game and wait for updates is really annoying, especially on console when you don't have the best download speed and limited game storage. Now, to be fair, even on PC you have limited game storage, but you can more easily uninstall and reinstall games on PC, I feel like. And on console, it's especially PlayStation, it feels like it's just so annoying to do anything when it comes to downloading updates or anything like that, even though you're paying for their service to be able to do it. So that is a real bummer. Then you just go where like, it kind of sucks, like, you know, not being able to put a thing on your shelf, even though, you know, some people say, oh, it just collects dust and all that type of stuff. But I mean, like, hey, there's tons of things that is really cool about keeping physical things, and the collecting part of it is going to be kind of lost if we just give up on physical media. And it's even worse, like with the recent GTA 6 thing, where the physical boxes are just going to have digital codes. Like at that point, if you're just going to do digital codes, then don't even have a physical edition. But if you're going to have discs, at least, you know, have that type of stuff. I mean, even Nintendo's still doing cartridges, kind of, right? So I really hope that they get bullied basically into actually doing it again, because honestly, like the disc thing is really annoying. And I do feel like it also has like kind of an effect on kids. Like getting a video game as a present on like a Christmas or birthday is a big deal. Like there's a lot of things that kind of like physical stuff as a kid does matter, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And we're just losing more and more ways to actually do that. It's like getting gift cards or cash as a kid. It's cool, but like, you know, getting a physical thing is always still better, I feel like. And obviously the biggest thing is that, you know, we just don't, or I just don't trust Sony at all to preserve these games. Like there's a whole thing about that, and they can just straight up take things away from you, like they demonstrated earlier when they took away all 500 plus movies from people's accounts when they lost the licensing agreement, when they purchased those movies, or at least seemingly told people that they purchased them. I feel like if they want to go through this digital only style, you can't have the purchase button. It has to be like buy license or something like that, because you're not buying the game. You're buying a permission slip to use the game basically, and they can take that away at any point. Similar to the way Steam does it, honestly, because you're buying a digital license to play these games. Now, to be fair, that digital license on Steam is infinite, and technically was supposed to be infinite on PlayStation as well, but they lost the license to over 500 movies, and they just deleted them from the account, which I feel like it might be illegal in some ways, but who knows at this point. It might be a little legal battle that goes for years at this point, so who knows how well that or badly that's going to go. And so I feel like overall, this is just a bad thing for PlayStation, and I just can't imagine it going well. I really hope they somehow go back on this, but I really don't think they will, because I've already seen reports, at least through Twitter and Reddit and like all the social medias, that they've already started retooling their disc manufacturers and stuff like that. So I feel like they're going to go all digital for the PlayStation 6 at least. And I feel like with the PlayStation 6 are probably going to be over $1,000 most likely as well. I just feel like the next console generation is just gonna die on the spot. Like I feel like just delay the next console generation, just keep the PS5 because honestly, like it's barely even started at this point. Like there's basically nothing going for it to continue on the console generation right now or go to the next one at least. Like let's keep this one going because we've basically felt like it hasn't even started. And to like build upon that fact, the PlayStation Store, the PS3 store, and the PlayStation Vita store is also being taken down as well, slowly over time in certain countries at first, and then eventually globally in around 2027. So, like, this is even more proof that the physical discs need to stay because the store is just going to go down, and like the PlayStation 4 or 5 store is eventually, those servers will eventually go down. Basically no game company in existence has kept the servers on forever. Like the only game that I kind of think that still runs servers or kind of know that we're still on servers is like old school RTS games like Warcraft 2 and StarCraft, but those are PC games, so they're slightly different, and I don't think the servers for like playing games is as costly as something like this PlayStation Store or like holding servers for data storage and stuff like that. So I feel like overall that this is a bigger deal because like people are going to lose access to their games on PlayStation 3. Like technically that you can still play the games. You just can't purchase games, but if you're closing down the store function on the PlayStation 3, that means they can't make money anymore. And that's all they really care about. So if it can't make money, I don't see it running in the red for that long. Like unfortunately with live service games and all that type of stuff, we've seen that they just don't care really. Like people say like, oh, we'll keep the servers up, and then they're gone like maybe within a year, like at most a year. So I feel like I just don't trust them at this point because there's no reason to trust them because they've proven over and over and over again that they won't keep the servers on. So who says that Sony will keep these servers on even though they say they will? Because like they took Concord down even before like it had a couple weeks, and like true, it didn't have a lot of players, but it still had some players. And I guess technically they did give people refunds and stuff like that, but like I said, this is a whole different ball game because it's literally the entire store that they potentially could go down. So people's entire libraries. And it's just one of those things where I feel like we need to push harder for like the stop killing games movement and the physical media stuff. Because true, not everyone cares, but there are enough people that do care, and I feel like we shouldn't be ignoring it. I just feel like they should be offering both. I don't understand why they won't, because I do feel like you lose sales if you don't offer both. It's just like being a third party company doing exclusive games. It makes no sense if you can do both or all of them. So because I just don't think they're not losing sales by going digital only. Think, or no, I think they're not actively gaining sales by going digital only. I think they're actively losing sales. Like, I mean, we've already seen people cancel PlayStation Plus and all that type of stuff when it comes to these announcements. So I just feel like it's weird that they decided to do this all of a sudden. Like these two announcements together make no sense. Like I feel like maybe they thought they'd get buried under the news cycle or something like that, but yeah, they obviously didn't. It exploded like crazy. And honestly, it's just one of those things where I feel bad for anyone that's a PlayStation fan or enjoys the PlayStation games because, I mean, if you were excited for the next generation or even current PS5 games, who knows? Maybe the next exclusives for the PS5 aren't even going to have physical editions because, you know, going to the store and buying a game, that's a experience. You know, and like opening the disc tray, putting a game in, like, you know, that's a thing people do. And it's one of those things. And true, like people like companies like Xbox don't do that anymore, but like Xbox is imploding right now. So obviously it didn't really work. Like the subscription model for games doesn't work. So obviously I feel like we're going in this weird scenario where they're trying to fix something that isn't broken because like selling games at a box price still works. Yeah, true, free to play games, half priced games, DLCs, microtransactions, all that stuff still exists, but digital only things don't work for consoles because the only reason it works for PC is because basically there wasn't really a store that you could buy PC games, and there's a lot more indie games on PC to be fair as well. So obviously indie games aren't getting physical disc editions because, you know, they don't have the budget for producing discs. But of course Sony does, and I just don't think anything is there's basically zero good reasons to stop discs unless you're like wanting to save storage or something like that. But like even then, even me saying those excuses are dumb. And I think Sony is dumb for doing this. Same with PlayStation. Sony and PlayStation are both dumb. Whoever made this decision, they're dumb. And I feel like PlayStation needs better management because they just keep making stupid decisions and they should be easily beating Xbox right now. And they technically are, but they're seemingly making it very difficult for them to succeed when one of their major competitions is basically just destroying itself, and for some reason they're also hitting the self-destruct buttons. But I guess I'm not a multi-billion-dollar corporation, so what would I know? Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to support me directly, please go to my Patreon at patreon.com/thetechnojelly. You get a once a month live stream that we do for members only, and you get to vote on what we do. We're most likely to be doing a Minecraft stream on that Patreon stream, so please join as well. You also join all of these nice people in the credits as well. If you'd like to support super directly, I have a code TechnoJelly at poggers.shop. Link in the description. You get a code 10% off and of any of their products, including their energy drink, hydration drink, sleep aid, and shaker cups. I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads, all at the TechnoJelly. Please click or tap my face for another video, and I'll see you in those videos. Goodbye, everyone.